Hello everyone, bringing you another unboxing video today, and this is more bits and pieces arriving from the US, courtesy of my friend Ian Parker. Thank you very much again, Ian, for sending these bits and pieces over. Some of these bits are items I've been waiting on to make the second part of the Operation Hump video, so that will be coming up soon after this video is uploaded. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll get into the main body of this video now and have a look at what's arrived. So here's the box. As is usual, I've taken the tape off the top, but I've not really had this open yet. So we'll put this to one side and get some bits and pieces out of it and have a look at what has arrived. I'm going to cast a shadow having the box there, but never mind. That's probably the best I can do. Okay, so one of the items I've purchased, which Ian has very kindly put in this lot for me, it's a US angle head torch, an earlier example without the brush guard around the switch. Wanted one of these for a while. It feels like it's got batteries in, and there we go. So that works. Obviously, filters in the bottom. It's got the extra section on the front, so you can put your coloured filters onto the front there. A little bit beaten up, has a name scratched into it there, which I've rather like actually that. But the switch is a bit bashed about, but it is what it is, and it was pretty cheap. So very pleased with that. US angle head torch. Thank you for this, Ian. Something Ian has gifted me is a massive roll of the sort of forest green, I guess you could say, duct tape. So I have some of the some olive duct tape, or well, I bought that specifically to use as what the Canadians call gun tape. But this is one of the colours. You see the more of olive colour and this dark sort of foresty green colour in use during the Vietnam War and after, of course. So a big roll of that, which is fantastic. Great to have that just be useful going forward at some point, I'm sure, when coming up with one or other Vietnam setups. So that's a very useful thing to have. Thank you for that, Ian. Okay, what else do we have in here? We'll work across the box, I think. We've got a couple of quite mundane looking pouches. These look just like, from the outside, these look just like Alice pouches, but Ian very kindly found me a set of Linklo pouches. So these have obviously the flaps inside, which pop over the top of the magazines, which were deleted from the Alice equipment, although these were introduced by the US Marine Corps. They were part of the trial system that led on to Alice. This feature was not liked and was dispensed with. I believe it was from trials that decision was made. So yeah, Linklo pouches, a pair of those. You can see in there, using the small snap that you find on the side for the grenade pockets, the same snap. So interesting interim design. So the next thing we'll have a look at here, we've got a towel that's arrived. A USGI towel, unissued, still in plastic packaging with a silica gel packet there. So thank you very much for that, Ian. That's fantastic. I'll have the packaging a bit later on, so as not to make the video too long. Another item I've purchased, I think. Yep. An unboxing within an unboxing. A set of Polaroid. You can see the details on the top there. If we bring this up to the camera. Oh, did I have it the right way around? Sorry, I did, yeah. So M1944, if it'll focus, Polaroid goggles. These have dull, sort of slightly opaque filter in them. I'll be interested to get some of the other colours of filter potentially with these, but these were very cheap on US eBay for what they are, and they're a useful thing to have, and not. They seem to have gone up in price a lot recently, or crept up in price. So it was good to find a pair at a decent price. And Ian very kindly again packaged these in with the big box of stuff to come over. Okay, so in here, we have a set of second issue suspenders with some insignia, some patches shoved into the loop there. So we've got a little Velcro back poppy. That's a rather nice little thing. Thank you for that, Ian. Focus on that if it will. There we go. And a 173rd Airborne patch, which is somewhat odd. Obviously it's got the integral Airborne tab at the top there, but yeah, interesting variant of 173rd patch. I'll have to ask Ian about that. So a couple of little pieces of insignia there. And something I didn't actually have is a pair of second issue M1956 suspenders with the snap hooks to the rear. The ones I have are the Aussie made ones, follow the first pattern without the snap hooks, and the US ones I have are first issue. So nice to have a set with the snaps on the back as a contrast. And I think we have a bit more underneath those of the bits and pieces I've purchased. We have a Claymore bag. Forget the actual, does it have it here? The I can't remember the designation for the bandolier that this is. I can't remember for the M number off the top of my head. But anyway, it's a Claymore bag. Not in bad condition really. It's in pretty good condition overall. Again, just a useful thing to have from Vietnam point of view. Collection again, it was very cheap on, or relatively cheap on US eBay as I remember. As I say, I can't remember the actual designation of it as a bandolier. It does have its own designation, this actual bag. But anyway, one of those. It's another item I purchased and Ian packaged in for me, and a whole wadge of, didn't need this many, so I might move some of these on, but they were a job lot for not a lot of money. We have some, does it have a date on there? So 72, and these are the M16 bandoliers. Yeah, I think they're, look, are they all, it's got a fill, is it a fill date? No, but anyway, yeah, these will take the 20 round magazines, obviously designed for 10 round clips, stripper clips, but they will take the 20 round magazines and were commonly used as such. And of course they come with, one of them untangled, safety pin, which means you can shorten the strap down, and these were sometimes worn with the strap pinned in the centre, then the strap's worn over the shoulders, so it was worn around your chest. That's another example of how these were used and worn. So nice to have a lot of these. I say I don't need this many of them, probably only a couple or three of them, so I might move some of those on, but put those to one side. Okay, so there's some bits and some little items in here which Ian said were on the way, which I've been quite looking forward to receiving actually in a strange way. Is a couple of US government issue pens, which are infamous, certainly in US circles, and the subject of quite a lot of humour. So yeah, two little US GI ballpoint pens, which would be a useful thing to have. Thank you again for those, Ian. So right, so I think I'll dig in here, get the canteens out next. We've got a couple of canteens in here, which Ian again very kindly picked out and sent over. We have a stainless steel and aluminium, both dated 1945, interestingly enough. So you can see on the back, I think they're the same company as well, if I remember what Ian was saying. So you can see there the stamp on the back, and then on this one, is it on the base? Yes, it is. 1945 on the base, and the same SM company, I think that is, or SMCO anyway. So same company, making steel and aluminium both in 1945. Now I know Canada carried on with aluminium production, or introduced aluminium production canteens, but as far as I'm aware, the US switched over to stainless steel. So interesting to see a very late dated aluminium canteen from the same company who were making stainless steel ones. So there we are, a couple of canteens. Ian very kindly picked out from his lot of these and sent over, very kind indeed. And then we have another set. I should have looked at these along with the other suspenders. We have another set of US second issue suspenders with the snap hooks to the rear again. A little bit of corrosion and things there, but nothing that can't be cleaned up. Any markings left in these? I didn't think to look at the other ones. No, I don't think so, but a serviceable set of M1956 suspenders. As I say, nice to have a couple of sets now of second issue examples, because the ones I had previously were all first issue, as I say. Put those to one side as well. We have a selection of grenade rings, which are useful to have for adorning various things. Thank you, Ian. Just a little selection of grenade rings there. And then the sort of the main item that I knew was on the way is an M1C helmet. And there are some other bits as well, but we have here an M1C And the reason for it being an M1C, of course, is it's fitted with the different chin strap assembly, which snaps into the, you can see, ooh, get this out of the way, you can see snaps into the liner here. So there's a snap on the liner, and that chin strap snaps on there to link the liner and the shell together, the leather strap for the liner there. And then you of course have the straps on each side, the sort of A-shaped straps on each side, which have a buckle, which can then take a chin cup, and this example is a leather one, so suitable for sort of Second World War era. And then in here, in addition, Ian's chucked in a couple of, well, there's a spare the neck pad in there as well. So various helmet accessories, a couple of the green webbing chin cups, which replace the leather and are more suitable for Vietnam, which is what I've been waiting on this for a video looking at the 173rd. So that's the M1C anyway, and a neck pad. And again, this is a gift, so incredibly generous of Ian to send this over. It really is absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Ian. A really, really interesting and nice thing to have. Obviously, you can contrast with my M1 that I have. And then we have here the neck pad, which is something that buckles into the helmet to give greater sort of support at the rear, greater stability, I guess. I think, as I remember, the liner I have in my M1 has the buckles for this inside, so I'll need to check that anyway, the fittings, to allow this to be fitted, so I'll have to have a look at that. But thank you very much for that, Ian. An M1C and some other accessories in there, obviously the webbing chin cups and so forth. Put this to one side. And the last few bits in here, a couple of bits, I guess, to go with the pens. I did know these were coming as well. A couple of memoranda books, little booklets, notepads. So they're very nice to have. It's always nice to get more small kit together. Again, little US memoranda booklets, notebooks. Thank you very much for those, Ian. And something I wasn't expecting, we have here an IFAC, individual first aid kit. Mint condition by the look of it. That really is very, very tidy. And then if we open this up, it does have the plastic insert. Oh, we've got instructions as well. So a list of contents by the look of it there. An instruction sheet. You can pause and have a look should you wish to, if it'll focus there. Flip it over. And pause if you wish to have a look in more detail. And then we have the insert inside, and this feels fairly heavy, so we appear to have the contents as there as well. So thank you very much for this, Ian. That's immensely generous of you. I wasn't expecting the IFAC. I have to say that's something I was not expecting. I mean, everything that's been sent is generous, but I wasn't informed of this ahead of time. So thank you very much indeed. I'll pop that. Oopsie daisy. Come here. Fold those neatly in the back there. Put that all back together. There we are. So nice in its nylon pouch. I believe the ones used in Vietnam are slightly different, not quite as tall. I'm not an expert on these by any means, or even sort of very basic knowledge, but you see these carried certainly during the Gulf War. You still see them around at that point. I think this is the type intended for use with Alice. I'm not quite sure when the modification change, when the change came, but it is what it is. A very interesting little bit of kit. And as I say, you do see them carried during the Gulf War, which is quite interesting. And I am slowly putting a set of Alice together, so it'd be useful for that as well. So thank you very much, Ian, for that. And then the last bit we have in here is a nylon sling for the M16, which you can see there. We've got the buckle on that end, the cam buckle on that end, and then obviously an adjustment buckle here and the clip for the other sling swivel there. So that's it's always interesting. I think these started out green, and then obviously this sort of thick, almost belt-like nylon material tends to turn brown. You see that on the M1967 kit as well. It all turns brown. I don't know if it was green originally, whether it's faded, but I think they were. But that's a fantastic addition as well. Great for sort of later Vietnam use. So thank you very much for that as well, Ian. And that is everything, I think. Again, a real treasure trove of bits of US militaria there. So thank you very much indeed, Ian. That's incredibly generous of you. So there we are. I hope you found it interesting looking at that. Thank you very much once again, Ian. Really is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for your assistance in getting these bits together and allowing me to make the second part of the Operation Hump video. hopefully that will be uploaded very shortly. So that should be up in the next week or so. Keep an eye out for that if that sort of thing would be of interest to you. If you'd like to keep up with my future uploads in general, then please do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And whether you're newly subscribing or you've previously subscribed, please do make sure you hit the little bell, little notification button down below, which of course will alert you when I upload future videos. If you really like my uploads and you'd like to support the channel, you can. There's both Patreon and PayPal linked down below, and a massive thank you as ever to everybody who supports the channel using those methods. It's really greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, everyone. If you'd like to follow the channel on social media, you can. There's Facebook, Instagram and Twitter all linked down below. And if you'd like to get in contact but you don't really use social media, there is of course an email address down there as well. But that's everything for this video, so until next time, bye for now.